Grand Lake Health Systems proudly presents an NKTelco sports production of high school varsity soccer action. We're here at Coldwater High School where the St. Mary's Rough Riders take on the Coldwater Cavaliers. Today's game is brought to you by American Trim, First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Winners Meats, NKTelco, Frost Roofing, Hometown Opportunity, Minster Bank, Plygym, Precision Strip, Schraderman's Pharmacy, and New Knoxville Supply. It's a beautiful day here in Coldwater. First touch coming up here in just a few on NKTelco Sports.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
American Trim's story started in 1951, and our long family legacy continues today. We are a third-generation family-owned business with locations in Sydney and Walpaugh, and we're hiring for manufacturing positions on first, second, and third shifts. Part-time and full-time positions are available for entry-level and skilled individuals. Please apply at www.amtrim.com or in person. American Trim is a proud sponsor of high school sports and our communities. Come be part of our story.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
At CAPT, we use Hometown Opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
Back here in Coldwater girls soccer action, a pair of 1-1 teams, 1-1 Coldwater, 1-1 St. Mary's, and a big thank you to our sponsor for today, Grand Lake Health Systems, for helping us bring you this contest. You see the starters being introduced on the pitch here at Coldwater, and just in front of a week, they get the only time where they can play here before football starts. Take a look at the starting lineups for the Rough Riders. Kylie Tennant will be in goal. Sponsored today are starting lineups by American Trim. You'll see Kylie Tennant in goal. Tabby Allison, Madison Rust in the midfield. Allie Will and Elena Menker in the defender slots, along with a midfield and a set of forwards in Emma Wibbler, Emma Burt, and Peyton Wilson, who have gotten quite a few goals already this year. Lily Ankerman and Maddie Anthony in the midfield, and Katie Lucas on the defense. As we look at the American Trim starters for Coldwater, it'll be Molly Post, the senior captain, in goal for the Cavaliers. Ava Gear, Maddie Sheffer, Emma Ayers, Mallory Kramer, the top four on that lineup, along with Janelle Halterman, Lydia Dippold, Molly Post, Haley Schneider, Katie Noonan, Emma Boley, and Megan Sigler. And the one big difference, thanks to American Trim again for those starting lineups, one big difference in those starting lineups is Lise Kramer not in goal, 49 saves a year ago as she sort of took over on that mantle. But this is a team looking for a different goalkeeper because they start off a year ago, like really the last handful of years, the best goalie in program history in Grace Bruns, 320 career saves, including about 40 of them the last couple of years against these Rough Riders. She's not here anymore. He used up all of her eligibility, so trying to figure out what to do early on in the season. And you see Molly Post out to the left of midfield there with the bright highlighter jersey on. You go to the other side, kind of a more demure pink for Kylie Tennant as she makes that long walk off to the right side. And these teams have met quite a few times in recent years, and they've all gone the same way in the win column for the Rough Riders. 7-0-2 for St. Mary's in this set, and it's the second most losses by Coldwater to any opponent, as the first touch kicked right off the head quickly of Elena Menker. Notice roll back in the goal box for Kylie Tennant to be able to pick up with no problem. It's a beautiful day, a little bit overcast as the clouds come back and forth, but it feels tremendously perfect outside as we look at our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game for today. You look at the keys for the Rough Riders. Big key is the obvious one, stop Ava Gear. She comes in third all-time. Actually, she just moved into second all-time in program history in goals, and a lot of teams have tried to do it. Not many have been able to. She's coming off a hat trick performance against Fort Jennings. You want to finish your possessions if you're the Rough Riders. They've come through a couple of different games where they were able to get some scoring in the first and come up with a big 8-0 win against Botkins, but not against Liberty Benton. And limit your penalties and don't give Coldwater extra opportunities as the Keyhole Pizza keys for the Cavaliers as they get rid of the ball back near their own goal. You want to control the passing lanes. Now, it's kind of the same thing. Not give the Rough Riders extra opportunities, space out the pitch, which they've done here through the first couple of minutes, and just kind of play fast, try to get St. Mary's maybe to make that one mistake, which neither team has really done so far. And I might as well have said play physical because both teams have done it now. As our first throw-in comes up. Teams just sort of feeling each other out. It's kind of the way that it goes early on in the season and early on in the first, I always say the first 10 minutes of games are kind of the more interesting spots as it's footed back to Kylie Tennant, one of the captains, in Katie Lucas for the Rough Riders. The first 10 minutes are always important because it kind of, are we going to play their game or are we going to play our game? Right now, both teams still trying to figure that out through the first couple of minutes. There's another ball kicked across the touchline. You see in the background there, the Rough Riders have brought quite a few. They took up the entire bus that was on the highway coming here, and they're a jovial bunch this morning while this one gets started. They brought, there's about 40 girls on the roster, which is good when you look at the way that things have gone in a lot of schools. A lot of schools slowing down, but not the Rough Riders right now. A nice stop and the attempt on the right-footed shot for Maddie Rust. Comes right back to her, and there's the control a little bit out of the keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza that don't let St. Mary's space out the field. If you're able to do that defensively in your Coldwater, probably going to have a decent day. It's another ball tracked back to the right side and to Katie Lucas. 3 captains for the Rough Riders. They lose a couple of really good players last year. The first team WBL pick and All Ohio, and second team and Emma White. Really just kind of changed how the game can go with her foot. Also an honorable mention pick in Meredith McMurray. As a little bit too much roughhousing. Allie Will, the senior defender and the captain. It's Allie Will, Emma Burt, and Katie Lucas, the 3 captains you see with the bands on the left arms. This ball kicked across the touchline near midfield. It'll be a quick throw-in here for the Cavaliers. Nearly the first 4 minutes gone. As trying to get going as Mallory Kramer had a goal in the opener against Sydney Lehman. And it's another thing early on. You kind of try to figure out, you lose a couple of players and you try to figure out how exactly you're going to replace them. Ava Gare comes back. Katie Noonan comes back as a pair of second-team max select last year. Also Northwest District picks, and there's a lot of contact. Just another quick throw-in for the Cavaliers. It'll be Ava Gare who will set it back up. And immediately, that always happens. Haley Schneider, one of the captains, as she and Molly Post, the captains for the Cavs, put the ball down. On the long kick to Ben, right into the stomach of Kylie Tennant, who was waiting on it. So the first shot of the game goes for the Cavaliers. St. Mary's still trying to get theirs as they play out of the defensive zone. Peyton Wilson rolls one back, and Kylie Tennant now will wait to put it in motion from the front of the box. Kind of a low kick, waiting for that extra bounce out near midfield. You see the Rough Riders with the opportunity here. Maddie Anthony chasing it down near the touchline. She'll hurry to keep it in play, try to keep it away from those two bright orange jerseys. Back out to Elena Menker, had an assist already this year. It's two teams who put up quite a few points. St. Mary's outscored their opponents 10-4 through the first two games. Picked up a split before they get into WBL play next week with Wapak. And then again, it'll be kind of a thing. It'll be much different. Wapak, one of only a handful of places. There's another throw-in coming up with just about 6 minutes gone in the first half. I was talking to Eric Goodwin, the AD here at Coldwater, and we were trying to figure out exactly how many places in the area had turf and about how fast it plays. Coldwater was actually eliminated during the tournament last year by Spencerville, and it was a Memorial Field that at the time had grass, now has turf if they have to go there again. Makes it one of best we could figure 4 in the area. Rough Riders with the shot. We're up off the pause. Great stop by Molly Post. And it's St. Mary's with their first shot and their first shot on goal. So both teams have gotten that stat out of the way now. As we get a look at that replay, watch how that ball was just curved, brought to you by Winners Meats. I almost didn't see it as quick as it was either. But another stop will put it out front for Coldwater. They'll just foot one back out towards midfield and try to turn away from it was Peyton Wilson, the junior midfielder. Stolen away by the Cavaliers. Nice foot to keep it in. Mallory Kramer now on the run. See, passing lanes, what I was talking about earlier in the keys to the game, about having spacing to be able to move. Right now, St. Mary's is actually the aggressor in that category as they've been able to stop Coldwater through the first 5 minutes. Madison Rust on the run, ran into a pair of orange and somewhat black jerseys as a substitution for the Cavaliers. Brings in Brianna Keller, the freshman, had her first game result in a goal against Sydney Lehman in the opener. And now it'll be a throw in the other way. It's going to be Emma Ayers, had an assist in that same game in the opener against Lehman. Cavaliers have played 2 games, one on the road, one here at home. They opened against Lehman. Beat Fort Jennings at Fort Jennings on Tuesday. I can tell you that was an early afternoon game. A lot of matchups during the week are 7 p.m. starts. There's 8 minutes gone by, no score. But that one at Fort Jennings is definitely a 5 o'clock start. They don't have lights. The Cavaliers were able to go there, and they would have shut them out anyways. 5-0 win against Fort Jennings. Ava Gear with her 4th career hat trick. She had 3 of them last year. But it goes to tell you in the now 11 years of this program, as the ball stolen away by Keller, she's just working 1-on-5 out towards that left side. And the redirected ball. And Coldwater with their second shot. This rolls right into the hands of Kylie Tennant. Able to take it away and off. You got to watch out, even if you're the coaching staff there. See Lisa Brackman in her 3rd year for Coldwater. The only other coach besides Scott Brinkman, who, if he listens to this, is just old enough to have been one of my teachers in high school. Now footed down towards midfield, and the Rough Riders are starting to get a little bit of frustration. You see the bright orange shoes there of Emma Wibbler, the leading scorer for St. Mary's. 5 goals already on the season. Comes off a first-team WBL selection a year ago and a WBL championship for the Rough Riders. So they were able to hold off Shawnee by a game. But you look at what Ava Gare has done. Last year, became the only other player other than Mara Hoying to have a double goal scoring season It's been done 5 times in school history. Mara Horn did it 4. That's why she's 100 goals ahead of anybody else in school history. Nearly the first 10 minutes gone now. This is what I said was important. See which team comes out as the aggressor in about the next 5 or 6 minutes. Small kick back into the St. Mary's coaching staff, and you can't really see it, but the back right half of that picture there near midfield with his bright orange or bright yellow hat as the orange give chase and a throw-in coming up. Nick Wilson, the coach for St. Mary's, he's got flip-flops on today. I was talking to him a little bit ago, and he walked across what is a soggy midfield. Just as happy as could be. Ball redirected right back off the foot of Menker and out across the touchline as a pair of subs for the Cavaliers. And Blair Mullenkamp and Mallory Kramer. Best part about that sub for me is whoever has to throw the ball in just stands there and waits, as they'll do it again. Allie Will able to kick it across the touchline. So Megan Sigler, the junior, tasked with throwing it in, trying to get it right down the line, maybe set something up. Great give and go off a pair of toes. The Cavaliers, though, force St. Mary's to play back to front on the defensive end. What's love about soccer? You can always kind of go backwards. As Ava Gear, 19 goals, just moved into second place with that hat trick against Fort Jennings. Their ball footed towards the front of the box, and on the turn, kick down, it should be. The lines are a little bit different here. I believe it's going to be, it'll be the first corner kick. And it'll come for Coldwater at the 28-20 mark. It's misleading because the yellow lines, there's a ball up near the front of the box, off the body and down in front of the goal. The shot on goal for the Cavaliers covered up by Kylie Tennant. You've got to be tough because there were 4 or 5 or 6 different feet trying to kick that ball in nearly her face. But she's tough, able to knock that down. I was saying you can see in the back the yellow lines. They're just in front of the front post of the goal, but they're in front of the back of the end zone for the football field by a couple of yards. So it makes it an interesting, Nick couldn't catch that one. Makes it an interesting view on exactly if that is across the touchline or across the goal line. St. Mary's having a problem just trying to clear this one out right now. The 2-on-1 as we hit about 27 minutes left in the first half. Another shot, but it rolls way outside for the Cavaliers. 3 substitutions for the Rough Riders. We'll send out Madison Rust, along with Maddie Anthony. So 3 fresh subs for St. Mary's. I said they've got a small army over there. Much different for them how this field plays, how the pitch plays, because it rained here on Thursday, and up near the circle at midfield, there's quite a bit of soggy, about 10 yards on either side of midfield. As the ball shot through and rolled down into the hands of Kylie Tennant again. Able to use just enough of the shade of the defender to pull that off. As the ball will be a throw-in for St. Mary's. Well, thought they were going to get that. Vantage point from where I sit in the official were apparently different. So Rough Riders ultimately get nearly the same field position anyways. 26 minutes to go in the first half, 0-0 on the First National Bank scoreboard. So Rough Riders get that throw in. They come off of a 9-4-1 year a season ago. WBL champs, but out of the worst of luck. Second time around that they played Kenton, came in the sectional finals a year ago. They were actually victims of a decent upset. It was a 2-7 matchup. They were the 2 in that sectional and lost 1-0 in overtime. Like I said, you get early in the season, early in games, but especially later, you make one mistake, and Kenton made them pay for it. Kenton ends up losing to Bath in the districts. This ball rolls across the touchline, one of the deepest possessions that St. Mary's has had here in a while on this throw-in. So what a throw to the foot of Peyton Wilson. Wilson shoved across touch. Now will throw it in herself. Here come the Rough Riders on the push, and they'll call the foul. Just about 15 yards away. Should set it down. It was the official on the near side who didn't see it, but the far side official on my side in the press box the other way actually ends up calling that. So he'll set it up as a penalty kick. And it'll be St. Mary's with 24-21, and the clock stopped with a chance to put one in here. Kendall Deringer, the sophomore midfielder, will get the one-on-one shot here against Molly Post. So now where you wanted that foul to occur, obviously, because of this shot. One-on-one from the center for Deringer. Approach, right side, down and in. And that results in the first goal of the game. Comes at 24-21 as you get a look at the replay. Bottom right side and in by the Winners Quality Meets replay. The first goal of the game comes off the right foot of Kendall Deringer, her first of the season. Makes it a 1-0 St. Mary's lead. St. Mary's turning the penalty kick into, and a little bit different too, because one of the goals that Coldwater had in their last game, Haley Schneider scored on a penalty kick. So limiting mistakes is obviously something you could talk about in every contest, but that is kind of a mental mistake, so to speak, the way that that works out. After the fouls, the Rough Riders continue to steal away. Just fighting on top of the ball. It's very hard to move and try to do that, I think, if you're Emma Wibbler. See how St. Mary's responds back on the defensive end after the foul the other way. It'll be Haley Schneider, the captain, to put it in the air. Good kick by her. Launches it back up towards the goal, and it'll roll across the goal line. Just harmlessly for St. Mary's and Kylie Tennant to pick it back up. Fans here in attendance. Good crowd still filing in. A lot more of them down there than there were the last time I looked. Quite a bit of gold and blue. It's both teams just under a week now from getting their football season started. Rough Riders will travel down to Sydney to start off. Last time around for that matchup. Great lead here for St. Mary's, and on the hustle, this ball out ahead on the crossover and in front for the goal. St. Mary's with just pure speed. I said control the lanes. It's the Rough Riders who do it here. And they march out to a 2-0 lead. Goals less than 2 minutes apart. As you see this goal, watch how this ball plays out and into the back of the net. So now the clock stops on the score. As quick as they went by, I believe it was Lily Ankerman with the goal. Rough Riders set that up with absolutely no time. You saw on the Winners Quality Beats replay. It was so quick it almost deked the camera. Gabby Keller into the game off the substitution as here come the Rough Riders again. right down across the touchline in front of their own bench. One of the subs had Macy Miller. So a 2-goal period in about a minute and a half for St. Mary's. So Rough Riders now have outscored opponents 12-4 on the season. So off the header is Gabby Keller. Another opportunity to go on the attack. 3 shots, they've all been on goal for St. Mary's so far, including that penalty kick. It was a beautiful ball booted back up the pitch outside of 21 minutes to go in the first half. Kylie Tennant gets rid of one. It'll be, I believe that's going to be a handball. Kelly Grannon, through no fault of her own, really, just where she was running, had it kicked right up into her hands. So just about the first 18 minutes gone and 2 goals for St. Mary's on the First National Bank scoreboard. Long boot right on one hop. 5th shot, 3rd on goal for the Cavaliers. Kylie Tennant back there making stops, trying to shut them down and hope her team continues to open up shop. It's now a throw-in, just a deke of the throw-ins. Emma Burt, an assist on the year, 3rd team at WBL selection a year ago. As one of the Coldwater players is down, and the Rough Riders on the attack again as they work from the right and miss one high and out of play. St. Mary's with 4 shots as they attend it to the injured Cavalier. The training staff and the coaching staff will run all the way across the pitch. St. Mary's on top 2-0 with 20 minutes to go here in the first half in Coldwater.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here in Coldwater is today's game again, a service of Grand Lake Health Systems, and a big thank you to them for being a sponsor of today's game. Might need them a little more than before right now, because Katie Noonan, I didn't see exactly what happened, but it looked like she might have taken an elbow or the ball to the face. I was looking the other way. As the substitution for her quickly in is Mallory Kramer. It'll be a goal kick after the shot was high and nearly through the uprights. Also into the game for the first time, Macy Sheff for the sophomore. She'll be easy to spot if you're paying attention to the fact that she's got a giant black cast across her left wrist. And I heard the explanation downstairs about she was told not to use it as a weapon and that she'll be fine because, quote, she's a Sheffer. As now, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So it's a good thing that soccer is one sport you don't use your hands. Low roller off the post. It nearly hit both, and the redirect off the assist puts St. Mary's on top 3-0. Wait till you see this replay. Just ping pong and in. The initial shot, as you'll see, the setup comes from Gabby Keller. There's one. There's the bounce off the other, and the 3rd goal for the Rough Riders. This is turning out their way right now. 2016, they have scored 3 goals in a span of about 4 minutes. And another quick goal. Again, St. Mary's doing this so quick. You think white jerseys, blue numerals from an angle would be easy to see. It's not. So they go on the offensive again. Another ball booted back towards midfield. It's also as quick as the offense is playing right now. St. Mary's, which came in the first 2 games with 12 goals, had 8 in the opener where they beat Botkins, and then lost in their second contest to Liberty Benton, who are in action right now. They actually this morning were beating a very good Kalida team. So they'll be a team to watch out for later on as the tournament comes near. But always a terrific team, a 4-2 win for LB. Emma Wibbler and Lydia Will each with goals. They had 10 shots turned away, though, by Allie Heigl, the keeper from Findlay. This ball back in. St. Mary's now has nearly put every shot that they have put on goal into the net. They have 6 shots unofficially, and 4 of those are on net. It's Coldwater trying to get something to get even here, or not get even necessarily, but kind of change the momentum and change how this game looks from the outside. Footed in by Haley Schneider, but there was no one there wearing an orange jersey with her. Just for good measure, kicked right off her back by a teammate. I think that was Kaya Baker. Megan Sigler tried to help her out. Problem was, it was kind of one of those you're in my way plays. 18 minutes left in the first half. As the sun comes out and it's going to begin to get warm. Start in the early afternoon as it gets more and more. Good news is, mostly sunny skies. It's almost a picture-perfect day, at least here early on. Redder's doing a good job of controlling the spacing and the lanes. As the substitution after the ball went across the touchline. Blair Mullenkamp back in for the Cavaliers, and a whole line change for St. Mary's. They changed out about 7 players. Aleda Mecker back in most of the starting lineup. Comes in now with 17:25 left in the first half. St. Mary's on top 3-0 thanks to goals in 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Back towards the midfield. Cavaliers again came in trying to put a stop to a 9-match non-win streak in this series. St. Mary's 7-0-2 against Coldwater. The only opponent who has beaten the Cavaliers more times, Salina. So they're probably not a big fan of the Grand Lake. There's another ball shot up front. Good touch pass off to the left side. See if they were intending, St. Mary's was, to come right back to where they started to Maddie Rust. Madison will set up now from the middle. A little bit of a stumble up on the crossover. I told you, the middle half of this pitch is torn up, is not able to bend one enough as Maddie Anthony. But it is St. Mary's 7th shot of this first half. There you see, walking the ball back out, Molly Post. Sets it down and tries to slow things down a little bit. But the middle half of the field, you see right down where the offensive line would play during football season, already in need of maybe some manicuring. Eric Goodwin will do it. He's got 8,000 things going on. He'll probably be out there himself later tonight. Good give and go. One of my favorite places to come and watch anything. Just a tremendous facility, great people. Kylie Tennant waiting to boot one away. Coming up on 15 minutes left in the first half. And again, St. Mary's kind of goes back to front to try to set something up, get rid of those 3 defenders who want to turn quickly into offensive players. Offside for Maddie Sheffer, and he kicked across the touchline. Rough Riders with a throw-in from Tabby Dowse. Tabby with the bright orange shoes, or boots, as I'm told to say. So a throw in goes the other way. It's one thing that's always appreciative. It's Players Weekend in Major League Baseball, and they were allowed to express themselves, but just once during the course of the season. But the girls have a bright shoe game. It's always appreciated. It's another long throw. Talked about earlier on how Macy Sheffer's not allowed to use her cast. She nearly did on accident there. Rough Riders working quickly, almost caught Coldwater out of sorts as they tried to shoot one towards the goal. Now knocked back out across the touch, and another throw in for Tabby Nouse. Tabby just drops it with some authority to Emma Burt. Playing the two-man game down to the corner, kicked out. Oh, and it redirected right back into play. Another throw in coming in for St. Mary's. Tabby continues to just wear the arms out. Up on the body now, 13 minutes and change left in the first half. Good give and go. St. Mary's wasn't able to turn it. And on the turn, a blast from Emma Wibbler is sent right back to her, right back to her teammates near the middle. Two of the captains playing a game of catch with their foot. Long shot footed up by Emma Burt. It'll roll down the side as Nouse will give chase. She shoots one across. Oh, and a great setup, but that extra bounce. And Wibbler could not finish off that little short hop. Another shot for the Rough Riders. And a substitution for the Cavaliers. Katie Noonan, who went down during the break about 10 minutes ago, now back into the game with Haley Schneider. Look at St. Mary's, Nick Wilson in his second year, 10-5-1. Went 7-1-1 a year ago in the Western Buckeye League. Was good enough for first place. St. Mary's with the cross. Now had it for a second. Now she tripped herself, and a little slow worm burner won't make her all that thrill, but St. Mary's now with 5 shots on goal. And the penalty kick, they have scored already 3 times. And again, it came in a span of 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Here come the Rough Riders. Shots, and I think they got called for offsides. That'll take away the 4th goal. 3 players running simultaneously, just lost track of where the official was. It's kind of hard to do because he's in that bright yellow. So the first offsides of this contest. Ball headed back towards midfield, and first couple of minutes, Coldwater was really able to sort of set the tone offensively with their field control. Since then, it's been all St. Mary's. Rough Riders have spent a significant portion of this first half in Coldwater's defensive zone, and mostly just out front of the box. Awkward redirect off the foot of Janelle Halterman. And the junior puts the ball where St. Mary's is going to have to try to slide out of bounds. That's exactly what happened. Now is the throw. Substitutions will probably come a little more frequently, I would think, in the second half as it continues to warm up. The throw back out towards midfield. 71 degrees here in Coldwater. Partly cloudy is what they call it, but partly chance of blue and gold in an onslaught. Ball off to the left side up on the set. That ball took a slow hop, and the shot stopped by a teammate. Emma Wibbler is stolen a goal opportunity again as you get a look at the winners meets replay. That just rolled across the grass enough to go right down to Molly Post. Riders on the attack now too, as you see the sleeves all rolled up from nearly every sub that has come in. A handful of players, when they've gone to the bench, have come back out that way. This ball kicked off the Rough Riders, and a substitution pair in Kendall Bird, the sophomore, and Mallory Kramer, the junior, for Coldwater. I made that joke about the sleeves, but the last 3 subs that St. Mary's has had come on have had that exactly, where Somebody over there must be a magician with the rolling up the sleeves and getting them to stay. Because coming off the bench, Peyton Wilson had the exact same thing. Long ball out ahead. Anchorman had it knocked away from her. Mouse tried to help her out, but another Coldwater throw-in. They've had quite a few of those already here in the first half. 9 minutes and change to go in the first half. One of a couple of times I'll see St. Mary's, either the boys or the girls this year. And both programs have been good for a long time as he shot behind the goal. St. Mary's has now got 11 shots, 6 of which have come on net. Coldwater, who had three quick shots in a span of, I'd say, the first 2 minutes of the game, have just 5 total now. They haven't had one in quite some time. Our fighters have kind of rained down the midfield and not let a lot of things come back towards their defensive half, and they're even further up off the head of a Coldwater defender. Now giving chase is St. Mary's, and a ball that rolls through, corralled by Molly Post. Just a chip shot, though. Won't give her defense really any time for a reprieve. Rudders off the throw-in. Always love when it goes right back to the young lady throwing it in. Staying up on the line and ultimately out off of Coldwater anyways. Lydia Will with the throw. I always want to see 4 straight headers. I've only ever seen 3 in a row. For whatever reason. After 3 straight is the quick turn. Menker made a good decision. Nothing going to her right as the ball into no man's land. Right back to Menker, the defender, with an assist on the year. 7.5 minutes to go into the first half, right in front of the St. Mary's bench. And you see Nick, see how quick he can get out of the way with his flip-flops. He was able to do so there. See, throwing upcoming. Everybody just trying to get set. There wasn't really any kind of rhythm to that. And it's so much as St. Mary's has been able to take that away from Coldwater. Cavaliers have got a chance here, though. Ball high and lofted back off to the right side. And chased down into the corner. I believe it went in just inside. Now the throw in just inside the corner at 6:40 left in the first half. St. Mary's leading the First National Bank scoreboard 3-0. Off the left. Oh, that was another one that Cavaliers have been able to get there. There's Eric. He's not getting paid extra for knocking that ball down. But he did. Good dude. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, which is why I like him. He and I share the same misery. Handful of headers right back to him. Oh, he didn't even make a move on that one. 6 minutes to go into the first half. Again, what started out as a defensive battle, both teams feeling out the midfield, now turns into an offensive shootout for about 4 minutes for the Rough Riders. They track one into the back corner. Nutmeg right through the defender. It was Elena Menker now. Still, though, another Coldwater throw-in. So they try to get anything going up high, and it's not what you want. Here, go ahead, try again. The first one didn't work. Ziegler sets and throws right into traffic, back towards her. Got to give it, though, to Mallory Kramer. She might be the hardest working player on the pitch right now, as she's continued to mix it up. This time around, it was Emma Burt. And a corner kick is the second of the game, and they've both been for Coldwater. Trying to make it mean something here is Haley Schneider. Foots one, right half of the box, rolls through. The left foot was stopped. The right foot was stopped by a defender. as that was Emma Burt who was able to save a goal. First shot on goal in a while for the Cavaliers. It won't matter, though, in terms of losing an opportunity because they'll get another corner kick. They have all three. As the ball goes down, you see there on the winners meets replay. Snyder in motion, bends one towards the front. Same thing. Burt kicked it out of the way. She's not getting a Christmas card from her, I don't think. The all-conference performer a year ago in the Western Buckeye League has made 2 stops. And the ball in play, nobody knew it. They stopped it for a foul. And St. Mary's had one player, I think, who was paying attention at the time. Savvy Nouse loses it across the touchline. The short breeze from the goal side where St. Mary's is at, off to our right. And a foul goes on at St. Mary's. So the kick coming about 30 yards out here. As the mini wall out in front. I'll make sure the wall backs out to their required distance. And then everybody takes 2 steps right back in. Satter with a low line drive, kicked it off the back of a teammate, and the Rough Riders were able to turn it away. Looks like Elena Menker again. The throw-in now at 3:15 left in the first half. Goes across the goal line and a goal kick coming up for the Rough Riders as here comes that subset again. Wholesale changes as they continue to run off the clock. Now keep in mind, something kind of different this year with high school soccer. They changed a couple of rules. The National Federation of High Schools did. And in the second half, where we are right now with about 3 minutes to go, if St. Mary's makes a substitution and they are still leading, as they are right now 3-0, they would stop the clock for the substitution. If the team who is trailing makes a substitution, they do so at their own peril. Rough Riders out on the run and stopped. Morgan Hesse tried to add to the goal scoring. But the one big rule change, or one of many, that they had this year for whatever reason, and the thought behind it was a ball to Anchorman. She had to struggle to stay onside. But they changed it so as not to give the teams leading an opportunity to just continue to milk off the clock. Oh, I didn't know who I wanted to send. We'd send someone from the end of the bench, whatever. But they changed that rule this year. So you can no longer do that. You've got to actually just run out the time on the pitch. A 2-minute warning now as Allie Wolf foots one up ahead. Throw in coming up for the Rough Riders. Minute 45 to go in the first half. Rough Riders started their program in 2000. Coldwater followed suit in 2009 under then head coach Scott Brinkman. Just he and Lisa Brackman, the head coaches. Coldwater lost their first Western Ohio Soccer League game this year. Because the league that they play in. Lisa 8-1 so far against those teams. So they'll get quite a few coming up. Final minute 10 left in the first half. Now just a matter of not making a mistake to go down by 4 if you're Coldwater and try to make your adjustments at halftime. For St. Mary's, you'd love to have another goal, obviously, to get even further ahead as we go under a minute. And the ball back the opposite way off the shove. Clock at 42 seconds. Look at the official making the play. Able to knock it down. Back to Kylie Tennant. Tennant now with 22 seconds. Foots one up front. Riders with an opportunity here. Just shoot one down the pitch. Try to get something to it. And that's an in-between for Molly Post. As we go under 10 seconds about, am I going to have to play this ball? Well, I'm going to have to give it a chance. First half will come to an end with St. Mary's on top of the scoreboard. 3-0 here in Coldwater on NKTelco Sports.
Hello, New Bremen. I'm Matt Everidge with NKTelco, and we're here for you for your cable, telephone, and internet services.
Hey, Minster. This is Nate Henry with NKTelco, and we're here for you for your existing cable TV, internet, and phone service.
Hey, New Knoxville. I am Wesley Meyer at NKTelco. We are here for you and your customer service needs.
Hey, Maria Stein. I'm Ken with NKTelco, and we are here for you with hometown pride.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Just about ready for the start of the second half. Today's game brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And a big thanks to them for helping us bring you girls high school soccer. 3-0 in the lead for St. Mary's as we begin half number 2. Big thanks to Grand Lake Health System for our sponsorship for today, along with the folks from American Trim, the First National Bank, and Winners Meats for our replays. NKTelco, along with Frost Roofing, Hometown Opportunity, Minster Bank, Plygem, Precision Strip, Schwederman Pharmacy, New Knoxville Supply, that our Keys to the Game sponsor in Keyhole Pizza. Our scoreboard today brought to you by the First National Bank, who reminds you to think first. As we get ready, we'll take a look at our halftime stats on the board right now. A lot in favor of the Rough Riders, and most importantly for them, the top left, the score, 3-0. They put up 11 shots to Coldwater 7, but it's a misleading stat in a way because Coldwater put up 4 right out of the gate. Just weren't able to get any until later on in the first half. 6-4 shots on goal for St. Mary's, handful of fouls, and the oddity that is corner kicks, all 3 coming for Coldwater. Story of the game, 3 goals in a span of 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Kendall Daringer started it off with a penalty kick goal on a foul by Coldwater. And then after that, it was a pair of back-to-back goals. Great setups and long leads for St. Mary's. Lily Ankerman with the second one. The third one actually hit the post and was redirected in. I could not see the young lady from my angle the way the sunshine is, but just a heck of a team play. Teams will switch ends, and that'll be Coldwater who will shoot south. St. Mary's up on the defense early. Again, both teams 1-1 on the early part of the season. Rough Riders playing pitch and catch with the feet. It's a quick turn, and there's what, if you weren't with us earlier on, I mentioned I was down on the field before the game, went and talked to both coaches and get the starting lineups as a shot rolls off to the right side, just off the inside of the foot from Janelle Halterman. First shot of the second half for the Cavaliers goes on goal. But it is it's soggy through the middle of the field. So they had some rain and absolutely downpoured here on Thursday. As we sit, it's a Saturday afternoon. Not a lot of time to dry out. Kind of overcast most of Friday. But a beautiful sunshiny day. Just a couple of dark clouds here on Saturday. And be interesting to see what the field looks like next week. Cavalier football team gets their season started. So they'll be probably, I would imagine, pretty happy that Marion Local dropped to D7 in football this year. Rough Riders trying to get across midfield for the first time here in the second half. Big right foot. Nearly got it started for Tabby Nouse. And an offsides penalty. The best part about it was, now, again, you see her there in the bright orange. She was a good 5 to 8 yards offside. Turned and looked at the official. It wasn't me. This time around, the official begs to differ. So the Cavaliers will take it back. Again, Coldwater coming off a district title in 2017. They went 7-8-2 last year, lost in the sectionals in Spencerville in overtime. And return Ava Gear. That's a pretty good start. Program's second all-time leading scorer. That was rough play in the second half. No harm, no foul. Apparently, Rough Riders keep on the redirect. They get their first shot. And it just rolls right in the hands of the keeper and Molly Post. Foul near midfield will go on Coldwater. Ava Gear, the only player other than Mara Hoying, I said this earlier on, to score more than 9 goals in a year. She got 16 a year ago, 5th highest in school history. The other 4 are all Mara Hoying. Finished with 121 goals in her career. Lose her a couple of years ago, lose Grace Bruns after last year. 320 career saves, the program's #1 in goal. This ball kicked back across the touchline. Katie Noonan and Ava Gear both returning from Northwest District honors a year ago. Cavaliers spent some time on the road after this. They've split their first 2 games, both in the record books and home and away. They go to Delphus to take on St. John's on Tuesday. Then they go to Kenton next week as well. Make that long trek. Ball knocked away off the foot from Tabby Nouse. That'll stop what she was trying to do. St. Mary's takes on Wapak on Tuesday. This is a big week for them coming up, too. Get Ottawa Glandorf on September the 3rd and then Bellefontaine on the 7th. Those games, the best thing you can have happen, though, they're all at home. Home on the natural grass where the Rough Riders have been so good the last handful of years. Nick Wilson took over last year. WBL title. They would like to add another one of those to the trophy case. Be interesting is WBL is going to be so good this year. It's a ball that didn't clear where Coldwater would have liked. Lydia Dippold had a chance at it. Cavaliers still fighting to get it back out. Haley Schneider kicks it across the touchline. First 5.5 minutes gone. Still 3-0 St. Mary's. 3 goals in just over 4 minutes in the first half. And the ball kicked up into the stands. One of the few times you'll see those stands empty over there on the visitor's side. The reason why is quite a few fans here on the home side, both from St. Mary's and from Coldwater. Probably a couple other teams too watching as the foul on the Rough Riders. Their first of the half. So one is gone each way. The aggressive play is sort of shut down a little bit. St. Mary's volleyball team was in action earlier this morning. Got a 3-set win over Pandora Gilboa for their first win of the year. So the Rough Riders looking, at least right now, for a 3-0 sweep. So they lead at 3-0. Ball sent from right to left. Up for Tabby Nouse and a long boot. Another shot. It's almost by defact, or by the way the ball bounces, it ends up being a shot on goal just because the keeper has to come make up a little bit of ground to make that play. Ball booted down for the first time into the defensive zone for the Rough Riders. And this would always make me nervous as a coach. You get just near the front of the box about whether your defenders are going to make your keeper have to come out to be a part of that play. The chip shot off the foot of Katie Noonan. And a ball back to the official. He was going to stop it, and he realized it hadn't come across the yellow line. And that'll make the walk a lot further. You see the head down from Noonan of, all right, fine. It's another 10 yards on the throw. Goes right to St. Mary's. 32 minutes left in this contest. A couple of fouls. It's not really anything. It's not anything you would tell anybody it was anything dirty. It was just hard play today. Talk about the value of getting wins early on in the season, but getting experience if you're a young team. There's a lot of those around the area now. And the shove sends down Maddie Anthony. Anthony gets right back up, dusts herself off, and tries again. This ball is just hanging on the yellow line. If it's on the inside, or any part is on the inside, they are leaving it alone. There's a lot of balls that are just playing now. Our Roughriders trying to clear one out back across midfield. Off to the stop of Madison Rush. She'll shoot it out front. Giving chase. Here comes Tabby Nowes. One shot high off the post. That ball looked like it was going to have a shot to curve in. There was one on the goalie. And two quick shots. Second time, not the charm either. Roughriders get two shots in that segment. And help with the goalkeeper up. Take a look at this on the Wooders Meets replay. Watch this shot where it hits. Just a beautiful high shot. Boom. Right off the top. A couple inches down, and it is a 4-0 game. That's from the right wing as the entire line changes again. The entire midfield and the forward set for the Roughriders. They leave just a couple of defenders. As the ball goes across the back line. Again, the new rules for the substitution, St. Mary's with their first corner kick can take pretty much whatever they want right now. It won't apply until about 5 minutes to go in this ball game. It's kind of an awkward rule, though, and to explain it, too, is that way, as the ball up and kicked away. St. Mary's gets a shot to do something here. They'll keep it in play. But again, the new rule with the last 5 minutes, St. Mary's is leading as the ball matriculates its way up the pitch and into the goal. 4-0 St. Mary's now on the assist in the goal. That could not have been set up any more beautifully, as you'll see on the replay coming up here in a second, for the Roughriders, as that is now Jewel Niekamp with the goal. Comes at 29:59. Makes it a 4-0 St. Mary's lead. First National Bank scoreboard getting some dents from St. Mary's, and that post, I would imagine, has a dent after that replay. Ball again in midfield, as you can hear, a lot of talking from the press box, but just a couple of fouls. So that one goes against Coldwater, their second of this half. I can tell you now the actual goals that are scored, thanks to Gary Raspberry. He's down there tweeting me exactly everything that's happening. Deringer got the pair of goals, so she's got two. So Kendall Deringer with a goal at 24:21 left in the first half, and another at 20:16. Lily Ankerman got a goal, and now Jewel Niekamp. So Jewel with her first goal of the season. Lily Ankerman adding those adding that goal gives her a goal and an assist on the year. Kendall Deringer just continues to be a force. A handful of goals last year. She's got her first two this year. And it's a 4-0 St. Mary's lead. First 2.5 games, Roughriders have outscored their opponents now 14-4. Coldwater trying to add their first goal of this ball game and not get shut out. Last year when these teams played, Roughriders won in St. Mary's 3-1. This is the ball headed back towards the stands. Katie Noonan knew as soon as she put her left boot on it that's exactly what she did not want. Trying to help somebody have to go get that ball, maybe make a stop at the concession stand. They have terrific food usually here in Coldwater. Also usually in the press box. So the shade comes back out. Oh, this is a ball that started out dangerously. Giving chase, Blair Molenkamp is cut off by Kylie Tennant. So 27:42 left is Ava Gear. 19 career goals. 16 goals, 6 assists a year ago. Just a fantastic striker, but I said in the keys to the game it was about number one for St. Mary's, about stopping Ava Gear. And so far the Rough Riders have done that. I believe she's got just the one shot. That came early on in the contest as the ankle lock. It's not often you see that happen. And that's going to be a foul and a conversation on St. Mary's. It'll be Lydia Will who gets the conversation. Aggressive play is picked up. There's a young lady for the Cavaliers down across the pitch. 4-0 St. Mary's as the clock stops. Here, we'll take a break. It's 4-0 Rough Riders.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Brianna Keller able to get back up off the pitch and walk to the bench. Today's game brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. And she is able to stretch out. You see her on the bottom half of your picture. The trainer will come out as well, but it'll be a foul in St. Mary's. Clock at 26:47 now. And it'll be Coldwater Bulls. They'll set up just inside of the south half of midfield. Sun has come back out. And it's still the same boot from Haley Schneider. Great lead. St. Mary's is just doing a terrific job with their midfield and their defenders of being able to get back and get in front of every ball. But Schneider has put a couple of really nice balls on a lead as he shot off of the goalkeeper. And a corner kick coming up. That's 4 for the Cavaliers. That's their first shot on goal in a while. Remember, they had 7 first-half shots. Both their shots so far in the second half have been on goal. The ball all the way on the opposite side of the corner. Lofted front half of the box and kicked right back out by St. Mary's. Defender having to give chase to keep it in play for Coldwater. So they foot one up in. Somewhere there's a young man going by on his moped. Oh, there he goes. Back by the baseball fields. I heard him before I saw him. He's just trying to take in some soccer. Rough Riders have a player chased into the bench now. As the action will send Blair Molenkamp on the run. Turns and misses wide left. That ball just had enough air on it that it was lofted from one side to the other. She had a nice run off the lead as you get a look at the winners meets replay. Watch the goalkeeper have to redirect, and then you can see the teammates in orange run by of, if only that would have bent. So disaster averted in terms of keeping the score clean. This is a foul again on St. Mary's. They've gotten more here in the first 15 minutes of the second half than they did in the first half. Just had a couple, according to the unofficial, just to point out their completely unofficial stats in the first half. Their ball kicked across the touchline. Allie Will just turns and burns one. Right back off the header. The unofficial Mike Hearn stats, those are how that goes. And a meeting of 5 players Results in a war of attrition with that ball. Everybody having to give an extra step to try to get away from where the ball is. Dropped right back to every time I think where Coldwater is going to be able to get on a run. This time it was Mallory Kramer. Credit St. Mary's. They've been able to take it away. Rough Riders throw one right down the middle. Oh, that worked out. Said it was about controlling the lanes. It was the Rough Riders who did it there. As he shove from Joel Niekamp, who just had that goal. Now out on the lead. Long ball way across, and David Gear too fast to be able to knock it down. St. Mary's as Kendall Deringer just with the quick shove. It's got to be frustrating, too, as someone with that much speed. I don't actually know. Scott in the truck might know. He's got this problem. You're running so fast, you have to try to slow down. Somebody comes up behind you and just takes it away. I imagine one of the guys in the truck, probably not Scott, would know. Ian might know. Scott would have no clue. Bryce might know if he was here. It's the ball kicked across the goal line. Will be a corner for St. Mary's. They've got 2, and they're both in this second half. Jonathan would probably know, yeah. Cameras and the guys in the truck, not Scott. Lydia Will now in the corner. Well, she didn't like where, drop number 3. She didn't like where she set it up initially. Should have slow foot one that'll come right back to her. It's always interesting to see how teams approach that, about whether they put that big bender in there with the big leg, and Coldwater's done it with Haley Schneider, or whether they just kind of give and go right back to it. And the game is slowed down now, just outside of 22.5 minutes. A couple of quick throw-ins there, like I said, right back to Will as she works from behind that back corner. Tried to tiptoe the line. The ball had other ideas. So a goal kick for Coldwater. Substitutions for the Cavaliers. Bring in Brianna Keller and Emma Boley. Keller, who started the last couple of games for Coldwater, was giving up the start for Emma Ayers, the senior here today. St. Mary's, again, wholesale changes. They run out basically everybody who would play in the offensive zone, all the forwards and the midfielders. They leave just the defenders each time. That's not embarrassing. Chase the ball and you just fall down on where that grass meets that track up in the football box on that sideline. Hard to dig the cleats into that. See, orange and black try to get back on the attack. St. Mary's cut off on the idea. A little bit of a telegraph pass there. So they'll work back across midfield. Up on the big burn for Lily Ankerman. Sends it way down the pitch and down on the foul. Again, aggressive, yes, but 5 St. Mary's fouls and a card. So the yellow comes at 20:53. That'll go on Emma Wibbler. Just stuck that right arm out there, and we'll take a break. 4-0 St. Mary's here in Coldwater.
At Grand Lake Health, we offer urgent care services within Joint Township District Memorial Hospital. Upon arrival, each patient is greeted and healthcare professionals assess the level of care required. Urgent care services extend your access to quality health care, complete for non-life-threatening problems. Our state-of-the-art facility and host of diagnostic and treatment options allow you to receive the treatment you deserve in a timely and courteous way. Grand Lake Health Systems, the highest quality health care for you and your family.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
American Trim's story started in 1951, and our long family legacy continues today. We are a third-generation family-owned business with locations in Sydney and Walpock, and we're hiring for manufacturing positions on first, second, and third shifts. Part-time and full-time positions are available for entry-level and skilled individuals. Please apply at www.amtrim.com or in person. American Trim is a proud sponsor of high school sports and our communities. Come be part of our story.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, require anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
At CAPT, we use hometown opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
Back here in Coldwater, Grand Lake Health Systems presenting our game today, and a timeout for Ava Gear went down at 20:53. A yellow card was issued to St. Mary's Emma Wibbler for I don't want to say an altercation, but just the way they kind of ran into each other. And Gear is holding the back of her neck. She was down for about 3 or 4 minutes. Luckily, the training staff here was able to get her back up. And you know, from a soccer perspective, it's a big loss for Coldwater, but from I hope she's okay perspective, just being looked at by the trainers as they are running through the sets of tests. And luckily, there are always great trainers here at Coldwater. Hopefully, she's okay as she's being examined on the trainers table. So Cavaliers now down 4-0 without their leader. Just outside of 21 minutes to go after the 5th St. Mary's foul of the second half. Rough Riders had just a couple. And they'll redo the kick. I was trying to listen to the explanation. It's a very vocal officiating crew, which is good. You start the clock at 20.5 minutes to go as a chip shot put back in. You kind of question how this is going to play out for Coldwater in terms of if they're able to stay with their aggressiveness. I've talked a lot about how Ava has been the big goal scorer last year, and then looking into this year, she's still being attended to. But what kind of momentum it does if you're Coldwater. You're already down 4-0. Goals, 3 of them in the first half in a span of 4 minutes and 5 seconds. And then a goal from Joel Niekamp. I put you behind. Cavaliers hope for something here as they continue to march down the field, getting throw-ins. So it'll come from Emma Ayers. Got the start today. Be sent right back towards her. So if you hear the papers in the background, that's me swatting bees. Rolling back through, there's always just one. St. Mary's, it's great chase by Lily Ankerman. Ankerman's been aggressive here now, sets one up for Tabby Dowse. Off to the right side, floats it across, great crosser. And the save, and Tabby had quite a bit of an argument about maybe how that was going to go. 6 shots in the second half for St. Mary's. 5 of them have been on goal. That was a great crosser, but I think it was about the argument was about the interference or about the group of players that met right above the net. The ball was able to be thwarted by Molly Post. The same field, I was thinking about this the last time I was here a couple of years ago doing playoff football, that I saw Petey Post catch a hook and lateral play on the first play of the game in a playoff game here, and it turned it 60 yards for a touchdown. That was Coldwater was going to Columbus every year. So a lot of shoving, and that I'm actually surprised they called that a foul, to be honest with you, because it looked, from my perspective, that Allie Will, well, they won't, because it'll go the other way. It'll go on Allie Will, because Will sort of, when she shoved off, it was enough that she tripped herself up. So the ball will be set outside for Haley Schneider. Big leg. And with that wall having to be marched off, she's got the kind of leg that she can get one on net to Kylie Tennant. Up on the set, she did exactly that. Kicked it up and just to the right of the football uprights. 4th shot of the half for Coldwater. First one in quite a while, as a throw-in comes at 17:29 for St. Mary's. And a big shoulder. Sign Katie Noonan up for the football team. It's Friday nights under the lights. Throws hits like that. It just looks like a lot of the linebackers that have played here. This ball footed out. That's the favorite thing of the defense for offense theory. Just sometimes just kick it out of touch. One of the only sports you can actually get away with it like that to slow things down. 16:55. So that is a long run for the tri-captain and Emma Burt. Now with her throw off of Maddie Sheffer, get another opportunity to throw it in. It's Madison Rust with the high lead towards the box, and the header just popped up in the air. Coldwater able to corral it. Long boot out to Mallory Kramer. Kramer with the lead down the left sideline. St. Mary's had a choice. They tried to keep it away from Kramer. Plays just in front of her, and she watches as the defense is split. It's a terrific move by St. Mary's Katie Lucas. Lucas has got moves that I still haven't figured out yet. It's a lead down 1-on-3. Oh, and too far on the bounce. Mallory Kramer tried to put it out front. It was a good idea, just a little bit too much oomph. 15 minutes ago, this is going to happen the other way around. Here comes St. Mary's 1-on-1. A crosser at the bottom left corner for Lily Ankerman. That is her second goal. And it's now 5-0 in favor of St. Mary's. The Winners Quality Meets replay. At 15:31. It was nice, trust me. So St. Mary's now on top with Lily's second goal. Here's the replay I was talking about. You're 1-on-1 and you've got to make a choice. It's kind of similar to the penalty kick for Kendall Daringer that got the scoring started in the first half. St. Mary's now on top 5-0. So Burt plays it from the backside for the defense. 15 minutes left. Rough Riders not happy with just 5 goals. Go right back to work. So Lily Ankerman with her second. Her first 2 goals of the year coming today. St. Mary's kicks it back out of the box. And they'll get a throw in after Coldwater gives them the opportunity. So a pair of goals by two different players. That'll make the player of the game selection interesting. So a lot of young ladies have played well for the Rough Riders in this game. And again, they are looking to go 8-0-2 all time in their 10 meetings with the Cavaliers. Only Coldwater opponent is Salina, that has gotten 8 wins before Coldwater's picked one up. 0-8-1 against the Bulldogs. St. Mary's now 14 minutes to go. Again, before they start WBL play at home next week. Mallory Kramer has played well and effectively here in this second half, but twice now she looks a little worse for wear of the last time. She has been unable to get through traffic. It's like spending any time on I-75. It's just not going to work out. Burt plays front to back with Kylie Tennant. She puts a boot into one and rolls off with a foot of Katie Noonan. Still, by the way, off the left side, and now the ice pack on the back of the neck. You see in the extreme left of that picture there a second ago of Ava Gear. Went down at 20:53 on a play in which the Rough Riders were assessed a yellow card for Emma Wibbler. And has stayed there now. Precautionary reasons will stay out of this ball game. Kind of one of those things. It's not close, and you don't want to risk the anything further. This ball towards the back line. St. Mary's tried to turn on it. Kendall Daringer out. The right foot. I don't know if that was going to end up as a pass or the shot. Great give and go. Shot just missed left on the roll from Macy Miller. 2 subs for Coldwater. Bring back in Blair Mullenkamp and Macy Sheffer. And you see Macy there with the heavy cast on her left. Handful of claps, and I was trying to figure out, somebody just raced by the stadium. You can just hear it in the background. It's a lot of pushing and a great breeze going on right now. The flag's moving for the first time. It's not been really anything to speak about in terms of the wind. Cavaliers tried to just dump it out. Katie Noonan tried to get rid of it. Smart play on her part, not to try to make anything of it back towards midfield, just tried to kick it out of bounds. And eventually making St. Mary's just move back 10 yards at a time. On the throw, back out towards midfield. 11.5 minutes left in this meeting. St. Mary's trying to get to 2-1. So both teams come in with a win and a loss in their first 2 contests. Almost the same way, too. One close game, one that didn't go so well. St. Mary's actually started out with an 8-0 win over Botkins, ended up losing 4-2 to Liberty Benton. Coldwater lost 11-2 in one of their games in their opener, before beating Fort Jennings 5-0. Ava Gear's hat trick, I talked about this earlier, against Fort Jennings. It's her 4th career hat trick. There have been 23 hat tricks in school history. 22 of 23 were either Mara Hoying or Ava Gear. Of course, 18 of those came from Mara Hoying. That is just to show you how much she meant to this program. Still trying to figure out what to do right now in this ball game with 10.5 minutes to go. Take a couple extra seconds to kick it back to Kylie Tennant. Tennant will wait and show off her skills. Listed as both a midfielder and a goalkeeper. Today doing the latter. Rough Riders playing a slow down towards midfield. This is about the first time that they have taken 30 seconds to cross midfield in this entire contest. They're doing a good job of playing keep away right now, or as it was explained to me, they're playing kickball right now, of just a little kick here, a little kick there. They get called offside. 9:40 to go on the First National Bank scoreboard, which since the 24-21 mark of the first half has been all St. Mary's. Goals by Kendall Daringer off a penalty kick. Lily Ankerman and Kendall Daringer again off one that was redirected off the post that she stuck in. 3 goals in 4:05. And then the last 2 goals coming from Jewel Niekamp at the 29-minute mark, and Lily Ankerman her second at 15:31. A lot of fouls against the Rough Riders, 6 in this half. End up with 8 on the day. But they have still had opportunities to be in charge. Coldwater has given them that, as Cavaliers don't exactly get an easy schedule. I talked about it earlier on, where they are road warriors for their next 2 games. A trip to Delphus and a trip to Kenton. Neither one of those are exactly close. Just rolling it through. Off to the left side. Rough Riders now left foot high and a miss. Mackenzie Lindemann not able to pull one down. 7th shot of the half for St. Mary's, 5th on goal. Or towards the goal, as clock's slowing down at 8 minutes to go. Sunshiny day as the temperature continues to climb here in Coldwater, the second to last Saturday in August. 71 degrees and mostly cloudy, what they're calling it. Just an 8-mile-an-hour wind. Mostly mid-70s the next couple of weeks as we begin to traverse into fall. Riders with a 5 spot. So they just banty the ball back and forth now and bring in some younger players. I said they have quite a few. Passed them on the highway on the way here and thought, that's a lot of young ladies in that bus. Then I saw the roster and what they brought with them when I got here. I was right. Gives Nick Wilson a lot of players to use. This ball kicked across the touch. It'll be Coldwater's ball. They must have caught a foul. So right back to where it came at 6:51. Long run for Molly Post. Molly made a nice decision, though. Claps from the Coldwater crowd. Run down around the corner. Left foot right at the goalkeeper. That's a thud from Morgan Hesse's left foot. Rough Riders with another shot on goal. That is just a rocket, as you see on the Winners Meets replay. Ball kicked into the Coldwater bench. It was so much so that Haley Schneider, who's been kind of a magnet for the ball, it came right back to her, and she turned and looked. Nobody wants to come get this? All right. I'll keep it. Pushed away now from Macy Sheffer. Coldwater with 5.5 minutes on the attack. Rough Riders now work with a 5-on-3 out to midfield, and that was quickly thwarted by Brianna Keller. A throw-in upcoming at 5.5 minutes. Claps now on the substitution. Maddie Sheffer checks out. Boys soccer for St. Mary's coming up the end of the month, which, by the way, is 5 days. St. Mary's will go to Wapak to Harmon Field to play on the turf. That'll be an interesting one. It's usually a terrific game. Wapak lost to a very good Kalida team already in boys. And we'll see the St. Mary's boys later on in the season as well, as they will go to Sydney. Play on that turf. Here's a shot high and out of play again. Two big opportunities for Morgan Hesse lately. Out of the 9 shots in the second half for St. Mary's, unofficially they have put 7 on goal. As we're under 5 minutes now. And again, if St. Mary's makes a substitution, as they are the team in possession of the lead, it'll stop the clock with the new rules. Any substitution made by Coldwater will just keep it going. It's a take a chance sort of thing, the way it's written. As he pretty obvious call for a shove? I would think so. Sends Macy Sheffer to the ground. Fouls are 8-2 in the second half against St. Mary's. Sheffer, who was given advice earlier today about not using her cast, was just told the exact opposite by the folks in the crowd. You want a lively crowd, come to a soccer match. That'll get it for you. Ball rolls down for Hesse again, works from the corner, right foot this time. Long lead across, rolls through the back line. Lindemann let it go, and a redirected shot. Knocked down by the keeper. 3 minutes exactly remaining here in half number 2. You're in a scrum, and your Brianna Keller get kicked in the back. It's the worst part. You don't see it coming. 2:45 now. Another long lead. This will be just picked up with no harm by Molly Post. One of 2 captains, both seniors. Molly Post and Haley Schneider. Up off the back heel by Kendall Derringer. One of 2 players looking for the third goal. Here's the lead from the right side, up and over the goal from Mackenzie Lindemann. Rolls out with 2:10. Goal kick upcoming, and always fascinates me to see exactly what colors that the athletic directors come up with for the goalkeepers, because it kind of allows you a freedom. It's got to be something different than your school colors. It's another long shot missed wide left. Under 2 minutes. But the bright green on one side and the pink on the opposite. Substitutions here. St. Mary's has now got 12 shots in the second half. By my math, that gives them 23 in this ball game as we hit 90 seconds. And the worst part about being a goalkeeper generally, it's on the left side of the pitch as I was looking at Kylie Tennant for St. Mary's, is that you've got those big, thick, heavy gloves on. You can't tie your own shoes. She just tried during her downtime there while her offense continues to go to work. 2 players meet and offside again against the Rough Riders. But she's just standing down there all alone with a minute to go. Wind blowing from the west. So final minute to go. St. Mary's with a 5-0 lead. As the ball kicked across the touchline. 40 seconds to go now. Again, you're just trying to play out the stretch. Oh, wow. What a move by Emma Burt. Completely lost the defender in Kendall Bird. That was me. I got faked out by it up here in the booth, too. Brilliant turn, though, with 20 seconds to go. Ball takes a Coldwater bounce. Now they will try to do something with it. Nope, St. Mary's stopped that. Down to the final 15 seconds. Give and go from Lindemann. Shot down with 10 seconds. It's going to be a long run for the Rough Riders. Ball out in front at 6. On the left foot. The crosser in front with the left foot. Bangs off the post. And Emily Ellis is robbed of a goal as this game comes to an end. 5-0 in favor of St. Mary's here in Coldwater on NKTelco Sports.
My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Hello, New Bremen. I'm Matt Everidge with NKTelco, and we're here for you for your cable, telephone, and internet services.
Hey, Minster. This is Nate Henry with NKTelco, and we're here for you for your existing cable TV, internet, and phone service.
Hey, New Knoxville. I am Wesley Meyer at NKTelco. We are here for you and your customer service needs.
Hey, Maria Stein. I'm Ken with NKTelco, and we are here for you with hometown pride.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Grand Lake Health, we offer urgent care services within Joint Township District Memorial Hospital. Upon arrival, each patient is greeted and healthcare professionals assess the level of care required. Urgent care services extend your access to quality health care, complete for non-life-threatening problems. Our state-of-the-art facility and host of diagnostic and treatment options allow you to receive the treatment you deserve in a timely and courteous way. Grand Lake Health Systems, the highest quality health care for you and your family.
Back to Coldwater, final time to wrap up a broadcast brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. St. Mary's with a 5-0 win over the Coldwater Cavaliers. Take a look at the stats for this broadcast, and it's interesting to see St. Mary's got a lot of shots. They actually they did double up Coldwater at 24-12, but at one point Coldwater got theirs early on. They end up getting 7 shots on goals due to the Cavaliers in the barrage in the second half for the Rough Riders. They unofficially finish with 15. Corner kicks go 4-2 Coldwater. St. Mary's didn't have one until about 10 minutes into the second half. They picked up quite a few fouls and 1 yellow card on Emma Wibbler in the second half, but look at how this game comes to be. Scoring: 2 goals for Kendall Deringer, 2 for Lily Ankerman, and 1 for Jewel Niekamp for the Rough Riders. Kendall Deringer got it started at 24-21 on a penalty kick after a foul in the box. She deposited it into the net, and the Rough Riders have led it 3-0 at the half. Come away with a 5-0 win. Sponsors for today's game in American Trim, along with the First National Bank and Keyhole Pizza. Winners Quality Meats, along with NKTelco and Frost Roofing. Hometown Opportunity, along with the Minster Bank, Plygem, Precision Strip, Schwiedemann's Pharmacy, and New Knoxville Supply. And a big thanks to all of those folks for helping us bring you this ball game. Our player of the game for today, I kind of had a toss-up on this because there's 2 young ladies who directly impact the final on this game. Lily Ankerman is our player of the game. Kendall Deringer had a nice game as well, both with a pair of goals, but I believe, based on one of the redirects, that Ankerman actually came away with an assist as well. She's our player of the game. You could really give it to both, and a great job by those young ladies. So a 5-0 win for St. Mary's as they remain unbeaten against Coldwater all time. Now 8-0-2. 2-1 on the year for the Rough Riders, 1-2 for the Cavaliers. Wrapping things up here. Big thanks to Eric Goodwin, the AD at Coldwater, one of my favorite people to deal with. And our director, Scott Robinson, and his assistant, Ian Bolheimer, both better soccer players than am I. Our cameraman, John Schwederman. I'm Mike Hearn. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here in Coldwater on NK Telco Sports.